Super! Welcome, Alice. Sit down, please. All right, first question.
Hello, Alice. It's Christos from Rotterdam, Greece. I was struggling to find a question to ask, but the point is, you have been asked all kinds of questions years and years now. But what's the question you haven't been asked and you would like to?
Favorite cartoon character?
And the answer is?
I'm starting to really like Maleficent a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
Yes.
It's very good. Yeah, it's my wife's favorite character. So yeah, I'm always kind of a Captain Hook kind of guy. You know, I'm always sort of the villain favorite.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, Alice. I'm Martin from Crank It Up magazine.
You have the wrong shirt on, by the way. You show him your shirt, please.
After over 40 years in the business, do you have any new nightmares stories for Alice?
Well, new album is already done. That's all done. And I haven't wrapped a show around that yet. But tonight's show is going to be fun. Yeah, tonight's going to be the full out show. And there's a little tiny piece, a little taste of what's coming up on the next album in the show tonight. So you'll be able to pick it out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Hi, Gosha from Supertonic. How do you come up with themes for your tours, and how do you pick your songs? There's so many that your fans want to hear.
That's the hardest part of touring. Is we know that there's about 12, 13 songs that we have to do. That if we don't do them, the audience will revolt on us. And then there's 5 or 6 other songs that are stage songs that I know that they want to see. They want to see the guillotine, they want to see, you know, the straitjacket and the nurse and everything. So then there only really leaves us 3 or 4 songs to sort of like go back through all the albums and pick 1 or 2 or 3 songs. That's the hard part. We did a poll, and it was funny how songs that we didn't expect to come up were the ones that Man Behind the Mask was a #1 song everybody wanted us to do, especially in Europe. So we're doing that tonight, and you know, a couple of other ones that were very unexpected.
Can you think about doing by request?
Well, we can't, see, the show is so set, we can't just throw a song in. We can do that at the end of the show, you know. In fact, sometimes what we really like to do is, on a night off, we just go in, like in London, we went into a place called the 100 Club, and we were a bar band that night. And it was just, you know, we just played whatever anybody yelled out. Back in the USSR, or Brown Sugar, or whatever, what they wanted to hear. That's what we would play, you know.
Hey Alice, I'm Alex, the metal librarian. I wonder, is there any chance we're going to get to see Welcome to My Nightmare Part 1 and 2 as comic books or movies or anything like that?
Well, my thought was always that Nightmare Part 1 and 2 should be a stage play. I've always thought that would be the Broadway play. If there was ever going to be a Broadway play, they should do Welcome to My Nightmare Part 1 and Welcome to My Nightmare Part 2, you know, with an intermission in the middle. Because the songs are all there. And pretty much the theatrics are the first one is set. The second one would be very easy to do, you know. So, you know, that to me was what I would like to see.
Hi Alice, this is Henrik from Garfield, Denmark. You playing He's Back tonight for the first time since 1987. It's a good song, I love it. But why did it take so long to play it again?
We've actually been doing it. It was never really a hit in the States. It was only a hit here. Yeah. So it was very odd for us that we didn't realize it was that big of a hit here. And it was actually a hit when the movie wasn't allowed to come in. So the song was allowed, but the movie wasn't, because the slasher movies at that time were still fairly illegal, you know, over here. But the song, you know, we were surprised that it was that big of a hit. But tonight we got some special things going on in that song. Thank you.
Further questions?
No math, okay.
Hi, I'm Matthias, freelance journalist. Gene Simmons once talked about, you know, when the guys were too old, you could imagine, you know, passing the torch on to some younger guys.
Yep.
Could you ever imagine, you know, passing on the character Alice Cooper, his torch to a younger guy, sort of like an apprentice? And
oh, absolutely. I think when I'm gone, you know, I can't see why somebody else shouldn't play Alice Cooper. You know, I mean, it's a character like Jekyll and Hyde or Dracula or any other fictitious character. The character I play is a fictitious character. So I can't imagine why somebody else shouldn't play the character. You know, hopefully it goes on for a long time. And like I said, there's so many albums to go to. If somebody was going to play Alice Cooper, they would do an entirely different kind of Alice show. You know?
Great question. More great questions.
I told Johnny Depp that, you know, he should play me because we look so much alike.
Yeah, who else?
Right. Brad Pitt, you know, I get mistaken for him all the time.
Hey Alice, this is Carl from Sweden Rock Magazine. About your covers album, that was supposed to be released early this year. Why is it delayed, and are you planning to do original songs as well on that album?
Actually, that wasn't supposed to, we have no release date on that. The reason, it's done, the album's done. And I can't tell you who's on it or what the songs are because it's probably not going to come out till the fall or the beginning of next year. When we put this tour together here for Europe, and then the next tour is 72 shows with Motley Crue that takes us all the way to December, there's no way of wrapping a show around it until next year. So it would be, we'll release, I think, parts of it. We're going to release parts of it. The music business is so different now. You don't release a single and then put the album out. You just kind of release songs out there, and then you have an album. I mean, there will be an album. It's fully done, ready to go. And the lineup is jaw-dropping. The people that are on this album. So, you know, it's about all my dead drunk friends. And we'll actually do a little segment of it tonight.
And how much money do I have to pay you before you play something from the Dada album?
From the which album?
Dada.
Dada. Wow. That, you know, of course we sit around going, anytime we try to do that, we'll play something like, well, not from that album, but from Generation Landslide or something like that. And everybody says, oh, you gotta play that song, you gotta play that. We do the song and we get, because the general public has no idea what that song is. The general public only know the hits. I mean, and they know the things they heard on the radio. We would love to do Formerly Warmer and, you know, some of the really dark stuff. But the audience doesn't get it. They just sit there and they just kind of go, what was that? You know? There should be a time when you do just all stuff that's not the popular songs. That could happen too.
Thank you. Will there be any covers tonight?
Oh yeah. There's a segment tonight where Alice shows up in the graveyard of the Hollywood vampires. So, yeah.
In keeping with my question about Welcome to My Nightmare, have you ever considered doing a follow-up to From the Inside or doing a movie about that or something?
Well, From the Inside was basically me talking to Bernie Taupin about the people I met in the mental hospital. I was the only one in there that was in there for alcohol abuse. Everybody else was in there for like totally insane things. I mean, they were like chopping up their uncle and putting him in a sack and sending him to the, you know, and every character that I wrote about was somebody that was in there. Millie and Billy, all those people were. So that was kind of a conclusion. At the end of that, it was a little bit of a photograph of what was in that mental hospital. The one that I do want to do a second part to is Along Came a Spider, because I left that one up in the air. I left that one in the air that we don't really know if that was him that was the psycho killer. There may be another one.
Mattias Osberg from Sydöstra. What would you prefer? The most perfect round of golf that anyone ever made, or a new hit of Poison Caliber?
You know, golf is just a game to me, honestly. It's one of those things where I happen to be good at it, and there's so many Swedish, and I'll tell you who really helped me out was Annika Sorensen helped me out a lot in my golf game. But it was basically to help me get through the alcohol abuse. And it ended up being more addictive than the alcohol. So now almost every band, somebody plays golf in the band. You know, I'm still more a musician than a golfer. Golf is in the morning, rock and roll at night. And the funny thing is, Alice Cooper, the character, hates golf. I mean, he hates golf. So the two never meet. The character and golf never meet.
Earlier this week, Rob Zombie was asked if you will meet on stage, and he said he'll talk to you. Has he talked to you, and what will happen tonight?
Rob is probably my best friend in rock and roll. Rob Zombie he's sort of like my disobedient child. And anytime Rob wants to come up on stage with us, and he knows he has an open invitation. If we see him tonight, we'll pull him up for School's Out.
My name is Albert from metalprogram.com. You've been to so many places and done so much things all over the years. Maybe you've done it all, been everywhere, but is there something you still want to do that you haven't done yet, or a place where you haven't played yet, or you really want to play?
Well, we've never played China. Very few rock concerts in China. I think that's going to be a huge market eventually, but we've never played there. Mid-East, there's always so many problems in the Mid-East that we never played. Stones played there last night, I guess. But maybe that will open up, To me, we never thought we'd play Russia. We were banned in Russia for many years. When the communists were in power, they said Alice Cooper was the worst thing ever from the Western, and that we would never step foot on Russian soil. Of course, now we've been there 8 times now, so all over Russia, not just Moscow, but everywhere. So yeah, China. I'd love to play China.
How big was your input in the new movies you produced for Alice Cooper, and are you happy with the results?
Yeah, well, it's #1 here in Sweden, which is very nice. The Super Duper Alice Cooper movie was really interesting because it took 6 months to just interviews. I just talked to them for 6 months. And they put it together so that it was like a Jekyll and Hyde, because my personality here and then Alice, the character, was Jekyll and Hyde. There were some very uncomfortable moments in it for me, especially seeing some of the film part of when I had a real heavy cocaine problem, because you could see it. I really looked like the monster that I was trying to invent. It was the first time the monster took over from me, and it was really hard to look at. It was a little scary, but then the very next scene you see is back to normal again. It was a period of time that people always say, would you go back and change that? No, I wouldn't, because it was something I had to go through to get to where I am now. Same with the alcohol. So, 35 years now, I haven't touched anything. So,
My name is Nina, I'm from Ukraine, and you're very popular in Ukraine. And do you want to come and play and sing in Ukraine? Someday, maybe not now, but someday.
With who?
Ukraine.
With who?
She wondered if you want to come to the country, Ukraine.
If I want to come to the concert?
And play.
That's what I'm doing, right?
No, the country, Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine! Oh, I thought you said in play. Okay, yeah, Ukraine, fine. To us, we do the same show every night, no matter where we are. And the audiences react pretty much the same way every night. So if we played the Ukraine, I think that they would react exactly the way they're going to react tonight here in Sweden. The show is set up so that we know kind of the audience's reaction, where they're going to cheer, where they're going to, laugh and everything like that. I would love. There's no place I wouldn't play, to be honest with you.
Hi Vincent. My name is Robert.
My mom calls me Vincent.
And I do too.
And you don't look like my mom at all.
Alright, sorry Alex. I just LinkedIn, I'm not a journalist at all, I'm just a guy on fan for 30 years back. It's a rare chance that I've ever gonna, in my lifetime, hear you play Might As Well Be Enlarged live.
Oh, people ask me the best song I ever wrote, and that was, I always tell them, Might As Well Be on Mars was the best song I ever wrote with Dick Wagner. I think it would be in a different situation. It would be if there ever did a show of songs that you don't do on stage, but you'd love to do on stage. If somebody did a show like that, that would be the first song I would pick. You know, that is my favorite song. That one and Dangerous Tonight is another one that probably the best vampire song ever. You know, so yeah, I would do that in a second. I think it's a bit too sophisticated for a rock audience. It's almost borders on jazz. You know.
We have a young girl here who wants to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
My favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Lime green.
Green? What a coincidence. Because mine's black. But I like green. I like green. How come you don't have any? Oh, you do have green on. Okay. I said if you like green, your boots are green, so that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hey Alice, having been at Sweden Rock Festival for so many years now, what is your personal opinion of the festival?
Well, we were really happy that we were going to be headlining this year at this, and then you look and see who's going to be there. You know, like I said, Rob Zombie's going to be here tonight. A lot of our friends are going to be here. Last night we played with Aerosmith in Norway, which was really a lot of fun because Steven and Joe and I are best of friends, you know. But yeah, I was hoping to see some of the guys in Uriah Heep. They're old friends of ours. And for rock bands, festivals are almost like fraternity things because you see all the guys that you haven't seen in a long time. You know, and sometimes that's the only time you see them is at festivals. So, you know, it'll be great. It'll be great to see those guys tonight.
My name is Francis from Radio Berlin. I was just asking you two questions. What's your most favorite vampire movie? And
you'd be surprised. Salem's Lot. I thought Salem's Lot, the one with David Soul, and is probably the most underrated vampire movie. Not the one with Rob Lowe. This is the one with David Soul, about 1978, with Barlow. He was probably the best vampire of all time.
Okay, Sound. And do you have a favorite fine artist?
A favorite?
Fine artist?
Fine artist. Well, Salvador Dali was always my favorite, and I was very happy to get to work with him. You know, it was a very unique experience. He was one of the strangest human beings on this. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's an alien. You know, there are a few people that I'm pretty sure are aliens. The Beatles are aliens. You know, nobody does that many great records in a row like that. Someday McCartney's going to say, "But this is what we really look like." Put his mask off. Salvador Dali's an alien, easily. You know, Groucho Marx is probably an alien. Was an alien. The people that are like so far past everybody else, Bob Dylan's probably an alien.
Hi, I'm Severin from Turkey, and I have a question about, we heard a story about you and Elvis in the same room, and he showed you a gun or something. Is it true or not?
With who?
With Elvis Presley
in
the 70s.
Yes.
Is it true?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But what he did with it, did he threaten you or?
No. He says, "Hey man, you're the cat with the snake, right?" Yeah, and he says, "Hey man, look, I'm gonna show you something." We go into his kitchen and he opens a drawer and he pulls out a loaded Smith & Wesson snub-nose 38. Now I'm from Detroit, so I know what a snub-nose 38 is. And I kind of like opened it up and take the bullets out because it was loaded. And he said, "Don't worry about that, man. Just put it back in." He said, "I'm going to show you how to take this gun out of somebody's hand." The little devil on my shoulder said, "Kill him." You know, and I went. The little angel said, "Nah, just wound him." Before I could decide. The gun was out of my hand and I was on the floor. But I thought there for a second, what a strange thing, me standing here holding a loaded .38 on Elvis Presley. And doesn't he have bodyguards in the next room that are totally armed and ready to kill any? But I guess he does this a lot. So anybody's allowed to pull a gun on Elvis Presley, you know. No, it was a very true story. But it's a true story. Oh yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna have a final question, and we're gonna round this up. Do anyone who's gonna say the last question?
I reckon you wouldn't miss Elvis with a gun because he's really big guy, or what?
He was a karate expert, and so he did one of these, knocked the gun out of my hand, and I was on the floor with his boot in my jaw. That's great, Elvis. That's good. Can I get up now? You know. But he was very cool. You know, this is when Elvis was not fat Elvis. This is when he was rock and roll Elvis. He was, you know, it was about 1971, 72, yeah. So he was in his black leather era there. He wasn't. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right. This was connected to the last question. So we have the final question right here.
So, can we expect any surprises tonight?
There's always surprises in our show. You know, I always leave the show open for it to be a little bit. We don't know what's going to happen. It's mostly totally rehearsed. So the band is the best band I've ever had. So this is going to be really, I mean, musically, it's the best you're going to ever hear Alice Cooper tonight. And then there's always the little improvisation going on all over the stage. But it's a full show. I think it's something like 24 songs, something like that. It's a lot of songs. And 3 different periods of time. There's a glam Alice, horror Alice, the graveyard thing, and then finishing up with the big finale, you know. Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to thank you for coming to Sweden Rock Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing this press conference. Thank you.